Everybody, welcome to TED Talk. Once again, it's Wednesday. God, it's hot here. It's 114 degrees. I think it dropped to about 99. Yeah, I'm here with Nick with another jacket.
Boom. Sparkly.
Yet another jacket. And if you look at the screens behind us, first of all, the screens are full of talent, as they are on every TED Talk, but never are they as full as what's the word I'm looking for? As genuinely nice as these two people are, and you're going to learn that over the next.
I do, but if you want out, well, it's up to you. Now don't let me down. Now your mama's gonna boogie up tight. I try to worry like I did before, and nothing happens when I walk the floor. So what am I supposed to do? I toss and turn, but then I fall asleep. I'm going under, but it's not too deep. You try to hurt me, but it's just no use. I can't even get the blues. Well, back in 1876, ain't no boat named Ben invaded a contraption that we know so well. By the 1950s, they're in everybody's home. It's a crazy little thing they call the telephone. Now there's one on every corner and the back of every bar. You can get one in your briefcase, on a plane, or in your car. Oh, little rock, I think I'm gonna have to slip you off. Take a chance tonight and untie the knot. There's more to life than what I got. Oh, little rock, you know this heart of mine just can't be bought. I'm gonna find someone who really cares a lot.
Well, of course, that's Corrie Sachs as Reba McEntire, and behind her, the handsome man on bass who has the most enviable head of hair in the world. Welcome to the show, Bob and Corrie Sachs.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Hey, Nick.
Hello. You dyed your hair since that video.
It's so funny. Everybody thinks my husband dyes his hair. I swear he does not dye his hair.
Tell me what's wrong with me.
Bob, you're great. You're well, both of you. I don't even know where to start. Well, I know where I'm going to start because I decided this. We have lots of talent on our show all the time, but I can honestly say you are the two of the most genuine, friendly, nice people I've ever met in this industry and just life in general. It's definitely our pleasure to know you for sure. Great people.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say.
Yeah, thank you, too.
And we mean it. We love both of you. We're in this crazy world right now where none of us get to perform. And if there were ever two people that belong on that stage, it's you two.
It's a very, very odd time for all of us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just wasn't sure if this was going to last for a while. I thought maybe, I don't know, a month or so, 2 months, we get back at it by the summertime. But this is the real deal, and it's just a very unfortunate situation for all of us. So we just have to wait it out and just stay safe and just be careful and do the right thing.
I got a taste of early retirement. It wasn't bad.
That's like glass half full, glass half empty. That's the perfect relationship that you guys have going on.
But the strange thing is, I'm actually busy. I think I'm busier, and I was busy before, but it seems to now I'm up at 5 and I'm hammering away till 10, and then sleep, and then just crazy stuff. But maybe that's just psychologically keeping me going, because if I slow down, I'll stop and never get started again. But we start off.
At the very beginning.
Say that again, Bob.
I was like practicing and keeping my chops up.
I was
the best
learning
I can.
songs.
Yeah, I wrote her like a half a dozen charts, and we were like real busy, and all of a sudden we hit this reality part of like, we're not going anywhere,
Yeah.
So it kind of tapers off after a while,
Yeah. Well, we're still going. I don't want to slow down. I'm going to try hard not to slow down. But we start Tad Talk, as we always do, with these Nick Davies random quick-fire questions. That's a new jacket. Have you worn that jacket before?
I have worn it once before, yes. I do have more, but I figured, as with guests as flashy as these two, I need to flash it up a little bit, with one of these. All right, first question. And I'm going to ask both of you individually. So, Bob, I'm going to ask you first. If you could perform on stage with one musical artist, who would it be?
Boy, I've had the pleasure of performing with a lot of great stars.
Yeah.
I love Ed Sheeran. If I had an opportunity to work with him, I love his material. I love the way he writes. I would love to play bass with him if I had the opportunity.
That's a great answer. That's an answer I was not expecting. I'll be honest with you. That's awesome, though. That's cool.
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect because he's right. Bob has played with so many people. If anybody goes down the Bob Anderson playing bass wormhole.
And also Bob Sachs.
What did I say?
Bob Anderson.
Did I say Bob Anderson? Well, I'm not going to cut that out because I'm going to leave it in unedited.
Right, we love Bob. That's good.
Bob Anderson is one person, but Tony Bennett. Who else have you performed with? Just name drop a few people, Bob.
Well, when I started out, I was actually living in Phoenix. I went to Arizona State, got my music degree there. And I was working at a place called the Registry Hotel, and it was on Scottsdale Road. I'm not sure if it's there or not anymore, but I was in a house orchestra. And all the acts that came in from Las Vegas at the time that didn't carry a bass player, I got the opportunity to work. So I was with Mel Torme and Rosemary Clooney and Robert Goulet, and it went on and on and on. So when I went to Vegas, I was able to work with, I was with Keely Smith and Sam Butera for 11 years.
Wow.
And from there, I went on with Buddy Greco, McGuire Sisters, Wayne Newton.
My gosh.
A lot of
And now
stuff.
I work with my wife.
Absolutely. Couldn't get any better. What about you? Gonna?
Yeah. So same question for Corrie. If you could perform on stage with one musical artist, who would it be?
Have to be Reba.
Reba.
I would just love to just stand on the stage beside her and sing a duet. I don't know. I feel I owe her a lot. You know, I fell into doing this Reba thing, oh gosh, how many years ago?
25 years ago.
5 years ago.
Wow.
Only because somebody said, hey, you look like Reba. I want you in my show. And I was like, I can't do Reba now. And gradually, I don't know, I just kind of fell into it. I started studying Reba and her mannerisms and stuff like that. I just thought, you know what? I would love to perform with Reba. I would get a kick out of that.
So would you perform with Reba if you were doing a duet? Would you perform as Reba or as Corrie?
I think it's Corrie. I think it's Corrie. But I was always saying I would have loved to have been on her TV show, you know, her comedy show, where I could just be her long lost cousin. Be another, I don't know what they call me, Eva or something like that. I did, yeah, matter of fact, Reba's husband called me. He'd seen me perform. I was at the Luxor at the time doing my impression of Reba. And he called me and he said, listen, I think you look more like my wife than my wife, and I want you to tour with us.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this was exciting. And so then I was in another show at the time at the Golden Nugget, which was paying really good money. So, and our son at the time was only 13 years old. So it was a tough decision because I really wanted to go on the road with Reba, but then I thought, you know what? I think I just need to stay where I'm at and continue the show at the Golden Nugget. And wouldn't you know it, as luck would have it, Reba ended up breaking her leg that year.
Oh, wow.
And all of her shows were canceled. And so, I don't know, I felt, you know, I made a good decision on that one, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 20 years ago I would have done cartwheels on that bus, you know. But,
I bet.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I bet it was really difficult doing your show after that and the cast just to keep it really, you know.
it was tough, Nick, it was.
Oh my gosh. All right, second question. I'm going to start with you first, Corrie. Who is your current celebrity crush? And Bob does not count as an answer.
Sorry, dear, you're out. Okay, let's see, a crush. Well, George Clooney. I mean, come on.
George
What
Clooney.
woman doesn't love George Clooney? You know, I also love like John Stamos and if you talk about musical, I loved Davy Jones. I finally got to meet Davy Jones when I was doing the Dennis Boner radio show. I was so excited. I met my heartthrob and David Cassidy, and I got to meet him on the Dennis Boner show. So my world was complete. I just have to meet George Clooney.
I bet.
I didn't know if this question would land because I didn't know if they would if you guys would be able to come up with one. But now, Bob, Corey's come up with 4. So let's see when I ask you if you can match or beat her record here. So, Bob, who is your current celebrity crush? And Corrie does not count as an answer.
Well, I'm a lot more conservative than my wife, that's for sure. Well, first of all, years ago, growing up, when I was a teenager, I guess, I was always in love with Connie Stevens. And had a chance to finally meet her because when I was with Keely and Sam, the drummer was Chuck Stevens. That was her brother. And so that's how I met Connie. But in today's world, as far as I like celebrities vocal that sing, so I really like Shakira, J-Lo. I'll stick with those two. So I think that's a pretty good choice.
Shakira and J-Lo. Nice.
Shakira and J-Lo.
That would be cool.
Yeah. What do you mean it'd be cool? What would be cool about it?
Well, I think I was kind of mixing the first and second question. I'm just imagining Bob playing on stage with Shakira and J-Lo and him just googly eyeing them at the back.
Close your mouth, dear.
So here's a question for you because we always have this generation gap. Okay. Corrie mentioned Davy Jones.
Yes.
Do you know who Davy Jones is?
Okay, come on. I'm young, but I'm not too young to not know who this is.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean. He was the bad guy in number 3. He has a locker,
Right.
And it's where all the pirates go when they've...
Davy
Yeah,
Jones.
Davy Jones.
Wait a minute.
Unless you're talking about the guy from the Monkees.
There you go.
Well, you got me nervous. I got nervous there for a minute, Nick.
The guy from the Monkees. Do you know which famous rock star his real name was Davy Jones? Anybody know? And he changed his name because he didn't want to be known as Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Is it
I don't know.
Bowie?
Yep.
It is
I don't know
David
either.
Bowie.
David Bowie.
David Bowie is called.
Get out.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
David Bowie's name is Davy Jones. David Jones. So there you go, another bit of trivia. Nick, one
that.
more random. We're not finished yet, Corrie. Don't go.
Yeah, we got the phone ringing. She's going to turn the phone off.
I forgot to turn the phone. Okay, good.
All right, Nick.
All right. Third and final question. Bob, I'll start with you. Corrie has been kidnapped. The kidnapper calls you and says that he'll let her go if you can tell him Corrie's favorite food. What would you tell him?
Well, it'd probably be seized chocolate and a bottle of wine.
Chocolate and a bottle of wine.
Seas chocolate.
Seized chocolate and a bottle of wine. Corrie, would you be let go? Is Bob right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at
That was good.
That's awesome. All right, Corrie, same question for you. Bob has been kidnapped. If you want to retrieve him, the kidnapper calls you and says he'll let him go if you can tell him Bob's favorite food. What would you tell him?
Oh, that's easy. Ice cream and a black and white cookie.
Is that right, Bob? Ooh, look at that immediately.
What flavor ice cream?
Oh, well,
Chocolate.
Definitely chocolate. I was going to say it's always chocolate.
I get a black and white cookie here.
It's tough to
It's
find.
kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, to be fair, if I was in that situation and my fiance Julia told him a food that was completely wrong, and the kidnapper said, "Is that right?" I'd just be like, "Yeah, yeah, I love sushi, of course. Let me go."
Well, if Anne was kidnapped and I needed to give her favorite food, it is a no-brainer. She would have a kitchen sink cookie from Panera Bread.
Oh, yeah. They're great. Oh, yeah.
No, they're not great, Corrie. They're not great.
What?
We go into Panera Bread. Do you want the kitchen? I don't want one, Anne. There's just too many calories. Well, let's just have one. You don't have to eat it if you don't want. I'm not eating it. I'm not having any. How many should we buy? Well, I don't know. We go up to the counter. How many do you have? Well, in stock, 6. I'll take all 6. So we take them and we go home. I'm not having them. And then she comes and sits next to me with this big ass kitchen sink 1,800 calorie cookie. She goes, "Don't you want one?" And so I eat 1,500 calories of it, and she has the other third, and that's it. That's how the night goes.
She's beautiful.
You gotta
Yes,
love
she
her.
is. I know she is. Great having the two of you on the show. Let's talk about the career. Now, I know that both of you, the career, we're going to try and keep these together, but about how it started. We know a little bit about Bob and Phoenix, but I remember seeing a photograph of you, Corrie, when, I don't know, maybe you were 9 or 10 or something with Bob Hope. Tell us about that. Is that how it started for you?
Actually, you know what? I was 16 years old when I opened for Bob Hope, but I was on Miami Beach. Dad worked for Mutual of Omaha. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Dad got transferred to Miami Beach. I was studying dance. I've been studying it since I was 3 years old. And I found there was a dance troupe out there called Lemon Twist Showstoppers. So I auditioned. I got the job. And one of my first jobs was to open for Bob Hope. And what's really crazy is back then, a lot of our performances with the Lemon Twist was with the old reel-to-reel tape.
Yeah.
And we only had one singer in the group. And she quit right before a show. And the production manager came up to me and said, you're going to have to sing her songs because I don't have enough time to splice her songs out. So I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. And I was so scared I didn't even touch the microphone. But that's how I started out being a singer. I got pushed into it. And kind of like the rest is history. Then I was with the Lemon Twist for like 5 years. Then I got my own band and traveled 3 years with my own band. And then when I moved to Vegas, I got to become the opening act for a lot of different stars. And also the Dennis Bono radio show.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for 20 years.
Wow.
And that also gave me an opportunity to meet many stars. So I just feel very fortunate. But yeah, there's the Lemon Twist shot right there.
So where are you? Let's go. Can we go back to that one? Is that where are you, Corrie?
The short little blonde in the front. Can you see me with the lightest hair?
Is that the third along from the right?
Right.
Yep, that would be me.
All right. Wow. 16.
Yeah, 16. And we did a lot of USO shows. And here I am, second from the end on my right.
So, do you know any of those girls today?
You know, one of them is still really close friend of mine. She lives in Atlantic City, and she's done many shows out there as well. Her and her husband, Kit Wharton. Matter of fact, he just won, he got an award for one of his songs just recently. But yeah, we're still real good friends. Matter of fact, we just hung out in Atlantic City with them last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
had such a great time. But she's super talented, and
And then
I'm just glad to go.
about 25 years ago, you fell into the impersonation world, which, of course, has taken on many forms in the last 25 years. Gone from impersonators to impressionists to tributes, and I think certainly more than any time in history now that the art, it's being treated as its own art form, or being at least looked upon as its own art form, definitely in the tribute world, which is great to see because it takes a lot of skill and dedication to actually perfect something like that.
Yes,
Right?
I mean, I'm so happy that I fell into that world. It's just really opened many doors for me. I'll never forget when I first met you, Terry, and you came up to me. At that time, I'd probably only had like a 30-minute show, and you said, "Can you do 90 minutes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. I got it." But thanks to you, I have a full 90-minute tribute show that we've been doing now for, gosh, I don't know how many years now.
Long time. Well, 4 years with you, Terry.
Yeah.
2016 we started with a great band. All the guys are from Arizona.
Yeah. No, it's a
Yeah.
brilliant show. Brilliant show.
Great show. Great show.
A lot of, there was a picture within that whole group of pictures that we just showed that it was you with Reba, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I got to meet Reba. She was so kind to me.
And that she looks just like Reba there.
I know, doesn't
Where is it? There it is. There it is.
Look
Yeah.
at that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was so sweet. That was right before a show. And then my mom and I sat in the front row. And Reba did a cute little dance step. And she pointed at me and she said, "Did you get that?" And I was like, "Mom, was she talking to me?"
She sure was.
That's great.
So she's
very
obviously
kind.
then she's okay because there's been stories of because tribute bands are all over the place now, and there's a bunch of people tributing a bunch of famous artists, and some artists are kind of not on board with the whole tribute thing. It's like the ones that
they
obviously
hate
are
it.
still here, but
They hate it, yeah.
yeah, is Reba all right with it?
Oh, she's very cool with the whole thing. And matter of fact, she even thanked me because I was telling her, I said, a lot of people that didn't really know your music after they saw my show came up to me and asked me where to get her albums. So, if anything, I'm also helped promoting her music.
Wow.
So she was just very kind, very generous. Her personality was very warm to me. So I didn't feel that she was upset at all.
Oh, good.
I think as long as she's represented in the right kind of light, I think she's good with it.
That's awesome.
Well, you do the show brilliantly, and of course, Bob, you play bass with one of the best impressionist impersonators that I feel has ever been. He was on our show a couple of weeks ago, but Bob Anderson took it to a whole new level in Frank the Man.
Yeah, great show.
How do you
Very fortunate to have been a part of that. I met Bob back in probably late 80s, 89 probably. He was at the Top of the Dunes Hotel, and Carson Smith was his bass player. Carson was a very famous bass player. He was with Chico Hamilton for years. And I started subbing, and then shortly after that, I got the job, and I worked with him, and I was on and off with him for the next 30 years. And his cousin, Billy Stevenson, who was the piano player, I ended up working with full-time on many, many different jobs. And so Bob and I stayed close for a long time, and I went my way at certain times because he didn't have any work, and I got another job, and so on and so forth. But once this Frank the Man the Music started, he asked me to come on board. It's been great ever since, you know.
The show is brilliant.
Things next year to kind of continue, you know. Talking about going to Broadway, so we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we hope so. It's Ann and I say frequently, and if anybody goes back and watches the show with Bob Anderson, it's the best live performance I've ever seen from
He's
anybody.
incredible. Yeah.
I was blown away.
The coolest thing, because I was lucky enough to see that show as well, and what really struck me as well, other than how great Bob Anderson was and Bob Sachs on the bass, of course, is like the orchestra. A majority of the orchestra on stage played with Sinatra in his heyday at in Vegas at the Palms and all of that. How was that, working with all of those seasoned, amazing, famous in their own right musicians on one stage?
Well, these are guys I looked up to when I first came to Las Vegas. You know, they were all in the house orchestras, and I got a chance to play with them on certain occasions, especially when Bob started using the full orchestra, have a 31-piece band. And I've worked with all these guys separately at different times, but knowing their history, they were with all the big bands. And when they were young, Harry James, Tommy Dorsey, that's where they got all their experience from. And I was kind of like the next generation coming into Las Vegas. But finally getting a chance to play with these guys was just unbelievable. Great talent, you know, all the great experience. And they knew the book better than anyone because they played it all the time. So it's been a great run here in Las Vegas. Been here 40 years from Phoenix.
Have you really?
I came here in '79.
You that old?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, 40 years. I thought you were only 43.
Yes.
Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Makes me jealous. We do have, we're going to be playing Tad Trivia at the end of this. It's tadtrivia.com/Corrie. It's right after the end of the show. And the trivia is going to be about all things, it's all things what we talked about today. It's questions about people like Jack Jones, Frank Sinatra, Las Vegas, Reba McEntire, kind of a general things we talked about. But that's hard. And you can win some signed paraphernalia and memorabilia, along with 100 Tad Travel bucks that you can use to spend on a Tad Travel VIP experience, one of which will be going to New York to see Bob Anderson and Frank the Man the Music when that happens. We also have our social wall here, which is people tweeting about Tad Talk, and I'm just looking up there and I see, what do we see? We see there's a picture of you two on there that says a beautiful couple. Can you see that? Somebody tweeted that. There's someone tweeted, then you and Reba's down there. What else, Nick?
We have a bunch of people and a bunch of people talking about some of the other episodes we've had of Tad Talk as well. And this is always up, this social wall, not only when Tad Talk is on. So please go on whenever you can and hashtag Tad Talk. Tell us your favorite moments of your Tad Talk episodes. And absolutely, yeah. And I hope you've been listening on today's episode as well, because we might have a question in the trivia, a multiple choice question, A, B, C, and D. Which of these is not one of Corrie's celebrity crushes?
That's good.
Which one of these is not one of Corrie Sachs' celebrity crushes?
And there'll be A through F.
A through F. I hope one of those answers is not Bob Sachs.
Oh, yeah.
No way. I'm too old.
Yeah, right. We're moving on.
One of the things we love to do is throw some random either-or questions at you. I'm going to do that right now. It's really simple, silly stuff. And the first one's for you, Corrie. Would you rather only wear one color each day or have to wear 7 different colors every day?
One color.
One color?
Yeah.
Really? What would it be?
Royal blue.
Royal blue.
That's a good one.
Don't ask
Okay.
me why. I just want
You
royal.
just picked it, whatever. Okay. Bob, here's one for you. Would you rather travel the world for a year, all expenses paid with you and Corrie, or have 40 grand to spend on whatever you want?
I'd rather travel the world. We've talked about it, and we always talk about traveling, doing more traveling together. As long as we're together, I'll take her around the world anytime.
Good answer.
Good answer.
And then Corrie will take the 40 grand.
Corrie will take the 40 grand and invite
40
two of us
grand.
celebrity crushes.
You probably call me when I'm home by myself.
Corrie, I think I know what the answer is going to be, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Would you rather be able to go to any theme park in the world for free for the rest of your life, or eat for free at any drive-through fast food restaurant for the rest of your life?
Oh, easy.
Theme park.
Yeah,
Theme park.
it's got to be.
It was
Theme park. I'm a roller coaster nut. I love rides. Yeah. Theme park kid.
You're a roller
Without a
coaster nut. All right. Bob, what about you? I'm going to ask you the same one.
Probably the same. I try to stay away from fast food, so
Both of us.
I go through all the theme parks in the world. That would be pretty awesome to do. So.
Wouldn't it really? Yeah, absolutely. This has been a great show.
Random question. Of all the theme parks you have been to, which has been your favorite?
Favorite theme park?
Hard.
Well, I tell you one thing. Hershey Park is fantastic in Pennsylvania.
Never been.
Never been. to Hershey Park.
We've been Knott's Berry a couple times.
Yeah, but if you want to go on a great roller coaster ride, go to SeaWorld in San Diego. They just put a new roller coaster in. It is unbelievable how it takes off. And I don't want to tell you, but check it out if you get an
It
opportunity.
has to do with 4 Gs.
My mom
Oh,
would
yeah.
hate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely
both
worth
been on-
the time and the money.
Have you both been on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What about you? What's your
survived.
favorite theme park?
For the longest time, it was a switch off between Disneyland and Universal, Disneyland California, Universal Florida. But I recently went to Disneyland Tokyo.
Ooh, I've never been there.
There's nothing like it. It's great. It's
Wow.
insane. It's insane.
So good.
And I haven't been to the Hong Kong Disney or the Shanghai Disney yet, so I'm biased, and to the point where I haven't seen those. But of the ones I have been to, Tokyo by a mile. It's so amazing,
All right.
so good.
I would love to go there.
When we do our round the world experience together, we'll stop there.
Yeah.
Well, where's it? The Olympics next year. Isn't
Yeah, in
that-
Japan.
In Japan.
Yes.
Tokyo, right?
That's a good
So
idea.
there
There
you
it
go.
is.
It's
Yeah.
a date.
All right, let's show
Yeah.
up and do it.
Theme park.
Go on the day of the Olympics. That way, Disney will probably not be that busy.
I was going to say, we'll have the place to ourselves, right?
Well, my favorite theme park is Castles and Coasters.
Oh, that's closed now. It's closed down.
It's closed down.
Gone. It's no more. What a great show this has been. We got trivia with Bob and Corrie. It's tadtrivia.com/Corrie. Scan that code. If you scan that code now, and you can have it sitting on your smartphone or your tablet and play that game with us to win some signed memorabilia and $100 in Tad travel bucks, which will be fun. Go on a Tad Travel VIP experience. We're now going to do the question we ask every guest on every show. We're going to do it for both of you. And we ask this question all the time. I'm going to start with, I'll give you both the question and then we'll start with Bob. If you could spend the next 60 minutes with any two people, dead or alive, anywhere in the world, so this could be your family you have lost, celebrities, historical figures, anybody, and go anywhere in the world, who would you like to spend the next hour with? Where are you going to go? And what are you going to talk about? Bob?
It's tough.
Well, first person that comes to mind immediately is my mom. I lost my mom at an early age. She was 69 when she passed away.
Wow.
So, 20 plus years ago. So I would have loved to spend an hour with her. It could be just in my home because we'd be just sitting on the couch talking.
Yeah.
But the other person I would love to spend a lot of time with is Ray Brown. Ray Brown has been my idol. One of the greatest upright bass players. Was with Oscar Peterson for years and years. He's married to Ella Fitzgerald too, if you don't realize that. But yeah, was an amazing musician, and I studied his playing for many, many years when I was young. And I would love the opportunity to spend an hour with him. Right, and probably in the Capitol Records in L.A. That's where I would like to be.
That's great. That's great. That's two great guests.
Oscar Peterson was a name that was thrown out in that thing. Oscar Peterson is
he's ridiculous.
If you're a piano player, then you know who Oscar Peterson is. Oh my God, I don't think there will ever be another player like Oscar Peterson in the world. He was just absolutely incredible. Canadian too.
Is he?
Yeah, he was Canadian.
I didn't know that.
From Toronto.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. There you go. Canada just reeling them out there.
That's right. Justin Bieber, Oscar Peterson.
Justin Bieber and Oscar Peterson. Corrie, 60 minutes, two people. Where would you go and what would you talk about?
Oh boy. Well, I would have to say my grandmother, who lived in Fremont, Nebraska, who lost her husband. She was only in his 30s. She had given birth to 4 children. One died at birth. She ended up raising these kids all by herself, decided to have her own nursery school in her home while she was raising her kids. And I don't know how she managed to do that, but she also managed to buy 2 other homes. I don't know how she did it. She was such an amazing lady. And when I was a kid, I always got to go to Fremont, Nebraska and spend time with my grandmother, who would sew me anything I wanted. We would go to a store and I'd pick out the material, and I'd have my pretty little pajamas she'd make her, and matching shorts and shirt. You know, that's one person I would just love to spend some time with. And then the second, as far as show business, I think, believe it or not, Liza Minnelli.
Oh, wow.
Liza's life has taken so many twists and turns, and she was such a dynamite, just dynamic performer. And I never felt she got the recognition she deserved, because she was always in the shadow of her mother. But that's one person I would just love to sit down and talk to and just listen to her and her adventures, and just, I don't know, see what I could get from just meeting her and possibly going to New York and seeing where she performed and the people she studied from. But that's, I see there's a side of me that I'm Broadway. I love Broadway. So, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's great answers. We've never had that. I'm going to go to our social media wall. There's a picture on that wall. Can you see that, Bob? And it says for Bob, and I can't quite.
For Bob.
Who is that?
I don't know.
I think it's Bob's celebrity crush.
I'm not sure who that is.
For Bob.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe someone can go on our social wall and see who that is, because it was someone's posted a picture for Bob, or maybe it's for a different Bob. I don't know.
Could be.
Someone just hacked into the page.
But hey, guys, thanks so much for being on the show. This has been a blast, as it always is, talking with you two.
Thank you. We had such a good time. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you, Terry.
Do you have any plans on traveling in the next few weeks, even though we're all kind of a little bit coronavirus at home?
Well, actually, one trip, Nebraska. We're actually going to go to Nebraska to visit some family.
Nice.
So
In about a month or so.
yeah.
Nice. Are you going to fly or
That's about
drive? Are you going to fly or drive?
Why? Because Southwest still has an empty seat
Yeah, they do.
in between.
Yeah,
and so we thought, I feel safer doing that. So
No,
that's what
absolutely.
we're gonna
We
do.
flew to San Diego this weekend, felt safe. They were great. We flew to Cabo a couple of weeks ago, same thing on American.
I want to go.
I know.
I want to go to Cabo.
We should all.
Hey, that sounds like a...
Yeah.
Have you spent any time in Cabo?
Not much.
Just when we took a cruise ship, and that 9 in the morning till 5, and then we leave. But
Southern
we never-
Marina. Cabo's great. That's on our plans. We're going to Cabo this year. Let's do it.
Nice.
We could
Hey,
talk-
Nick, write a song. I want to go to Cabo.
I want to go to Done. Done. It's being written as we speak. I already have half the lyrics done.
Oh, perfect.
Good to you. Good to you.
This has been a great show. Thanks again for joining us. Thank you, Nick, for being on the show.
Of course.
It's been tremendous. We will be back tomorrow with another episode of Tad Talk. And don't forget, if you want to play trivia, it's tadtrivia.com/Corrie. And we'll be doing all kind of Tad Trivia music questions. You can win signed memorabilia and $100 in Tad Travel bucks. Just all you got to do is scan on that QR code and join us. Thanks for joining us on our show. We'll see you on the next episode of Tad Talk.
Mwah.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Terry.
So
Love you.
much.
Take care.
Love you guys.
Bye now.